Hello again. What we're going to be looking at today is a little bit on 360, Autodesk 360. So what you can see is my desktop. So what I'm going to start with is a browser, internet browser. So I'm actually using Google Chrome, but you can use any browser. I'm just going to pick a login, and here, I'm going to go to 360.autodesk.com. This brings me to the landing page for the 360 Drive site. So the 360 Drive is Autodesk's version of something very similar like Dropbox or Box or SugarSync. There's plenty of others around. All you need to create an account is an email address. You can create multiple accounts with multiple email addresses. So what I'm going to do is just sign in with one of my accounts. Let me use my work one. Just and sign in. So once you've signed in, you come to your home page, and here I can see all my documents that I have stored online. With this I can create folders. So here I can create a new folder. Let's just say this is called 360 test. Save that folder. I can also add things to the folders. So here I can go into this folder now, and I could upload multiple files from my PC just by selecting. This brings up a selection box, lets me browse and peruse my drawings online, or file or documents. It accepts any file type. I can drag and drop documents onto there, and it uploads them onto the web server. So what can we do once we've got documents on here? Well, pretty much whatever we like. We can, if I use this one here as an example, we've got a little actions symbol here. This lets me copy this to an A360 project. So we're going to look at projects in a minute. I could download a copy of that DWG. I could edit that DWG with what's called Autocad 360. So Autocad 360 is an online free version of some very basic tools that you'll find available in Autocad to enable you to edit the drawings that you sync online, whether it be via a web page or by a mobile device. It's available on the Android store and on the iOS store. You can also share the drawing, so you can do it for private sharing, which will enable you to choose via email address anybody else that has one of these 360 drives, and that means you can set the permissions for if you want them to download it, or you just want them to view it, if you want them to edit it as well. I could move this to another folder, rename the file version, upload a new version of the file so it starts to keep track of the versions. I could see the version history there. I could actually have a look at the document activity, who's downloaded it, and so on and so forth. And finally, I could actually delete the document from my 360 drive. Anything that we store online is automatically synced to your 360 drive on your computer. So you'll notice if you use, say for instance, Dropbox also installs a local drive on your PC and syncs. So does a 360 drive. I'm purposely not signed into this on this computer at the moment though, and everything would be synced onto your PC. Whatever you do on there will happen automatically online. So it's a very, very handy storage for documents being used inside your applications. but we can go one step further than that. What I can do is here under my profile, I can go over to my hub, and my hub basically lets me deal with projects. So here on my hub, I can see the activity that has been happening with projects and files. If I click on my projects link there, you can see I have 2 sample projects that are active at the moment. I've got plenty of deactivated projects, but what a project enables us to do is actually invite people to share and work on that project. So I could type in an email address of a colleague and invite them to work on this project as well. What that would enable them to do is, if I just go into this project, is take a look at the data in this project. So the data in this project is one particular Revit file, for an example. That would enable them to, again, share that with other people. If I allow them to have that ability and permissions, you can set permissions for people using the project. That would enable them to download a version of it, copy a version, upload new versions, and so on and so forth. So it's taking the drive one step further, well, quite a big leap further, for projects. You can have more than multiple people working on the project. In the people's page here, you can have requests from people or invite people to work on the project. You've got use of a calendar to discuss create events and schedules for the project. You also have a wiki site per project, so you can start creating wiki pages to talk about topics and so on and so forth with people involved on the project. So all in all, projects section is a much better, more advanced version of the drive. On the main page of the project here, you can see all the recent activity to do with the project, who's been downloading the files, who's been sharing the files, so on and so forth, making comments on people's activity with a like button. The one I particularly like here is the RSS feed. You can click on the RSS feed there and subscribe to the feed, so instantly straight to your inbox you get activity of what's been happening on the project. So I do find that quite handy. So 360 Drive really is quite a handy thing to use for your projects as far as Autodesk software is concerned. What we can also do up here, it's all linked together, is I could also go and have a look at my account. So this is a quite important area for those people with Autodesk software, because this account area, so let me just show you again how I got to there. So once I'm signed into my 360, whether it be the drive or the projects site, they're all linked. All you have to do on your little symbol over there, hit profile. That brings you to your profile page, and on your profile page, this is where I can go into the management of my account, so my Autodesk account. So if you have a free account that you've signed up for, you're not really going to get much things here in your management side. Whereas if you are, like I said earlier, linked to your work contract, so your serial number for your software, then here I'm going to get all the benefits that I've got available. Everything from my cloud credits to all the products that I've got enabled to use, and here I can download products and updates and services and so on and so on. So just mentioning a bit about the cloud credits. So you do actually get cloud credits when you create a free account anyway. Everybody starts with a certain single amount of credits. I've got quite a few extra credits because it's linked to my account. And what credits enable you to do is either upload files for rendering, whether they're from Autocad DWG files or from your Revit software or Inventor and so on and so forth. You can also do it directly from the products themselves, and this enables the cloud to do the rendering for you, their servers, saves time from locking up your PC. It enables you to carry on working whilst everything online is doing the rendering for you. But there are so many more services available as well if you are linked onto your subscription and your account. Talking about downloading products, so you should have a list of the products that you have available on your contract. Say, for instance, I chose the 3ds Max design, which I wanted to download. What you should see is the versions that you have available to download, serial numbers and so on and so forth. And you can ask to download from here. So by clicking on the download, pick the version you require and then download. You do have more options on the download. I do suggest that you don't ever choose the install now, really. You can, but I've not got the option here, but the install now can get interrupted by your internet connection. It needs a really steady internet connection. Using the browser download, even though it says it's the slowest, or using the download manager, which is a lot quicker, is a more preferred method for downloading the software. Quite a lot of people do get stuck using the install now. I can also see the services that I have available. So a lot of these services are free services. You can see the ones that say free. So if they're free, hence you can have them just if you don't have the software and you just create an account. So ones that are free are the 360 mobile. So that's what I mentioned about the Autocad 360, sharing it and editing it online. You can download a version of that. It's very, very handy. Sorry, the Autocad 360 there, you can access now. So I'll have a look at that in a second, just to show you the interface and what it's like. Of course, if you have your subscription, you get so many more benefits from your software. I always advise people, when you buy Autodesk software, go on subscription. There's so much more, apart from what the sales people will tell you about. There are so much more available to use when you're on subscription. Fusion, for example, fantastic program. So you can scroll down. Here you can see I've got my storage. This is included with your subscription and is free anyway. But why it's saying here that it's included with my subscription is because, as I mentioned, everybody can have an account, 360 account. With a free 360 account, you get 5 gigabytes of storage. As soon as you link it to your subscription, that instantly gets upgraded to 25 gigabytes. So that's why it says that it's included with my subscription. With your subscription, you also get more rendering, so credits to enable you to do more things like that. So let's scroll back up to the top. I can also access product updates and trial software if I don't have access to that software. What's quite important is this button here for users. So on the users, so let's just come off there, I don't see everybody's names. So on the users, that's where you can create users to use the software if, for instance, you are on rental software. So if you rent the software, this is where you'd go to create users that can use that rented software at your workplace. You can also go and look at contracts and orders and so on and so forth. So very handy management site available. Okay, so as I said, we're just going to take a quick look at the 360 Autocad. So I'm just going back into the browser again. Just here, 360, and if I come down to all drawings, Autocad 360, So this, you can just type in AutoCAD360.com. That will take you to here, and you can sign in again with your account that you've created and see your drawings that you've saved to your drive. So this is actually looking at a different account of mine, which I quite often use for lots of different drawings. So what this will enable us to do is, let's just pick one. Let's say that one there. And let's open that drawing online. So I've quite often used this version of this AutoCAD 360 via my iPad, because quite often you come across the time you're thinking about a drawing that you've done, been working on at work. You get home and you think, oh, I need to add that to the drawing. Of course, if the drawing is synced online to your, you've been saving them onto your drive, and so they're automatically uploaded. You can then either come here to the web, or like I say, if you're on a mobile device, and open up that drawing and literally physically edit that drawing using some very basic AutoCAD available tools. So what we have is line, rectangle, circles, arcs, free lines, ellipses. We can mirror, erase, offset, explode, and even pick colours. We can measure things using the distance command here, so I can say from a distance there to a distance there, and it reports the information. If I want to have that more permanent, I can actually pick for a permanent dimension and grab a point, and click and create an actual linear dimension. That is literally on the actual drawing itself. So if I was to just come out of this and go back to work the following day, open up the file which is on my synced to my 360 folder, that dimension would be there on my drawing itself. I can create text. So if I was actually wanted to add some drawing, I can actually do this. It's very handy to use on the web. You can see I can stretch really easily. I could rotate really easily. So just click on rotate and rotate my boxes. I have basic layer control. So you can see here I've got a list of my layers. I have property control for the line type, line colours, line weights and line styles that I can use that are available in this drawing. I don't really go ahead and create new ones, but whatever's in this drawing I've got control of. So an extremely handy version of being able to edit your drawings that you've saved to your 360 site, or synced using the installed drive that I mentioned, which is down here on your 360 drive. One of the options are available inside AutoCAD. Inside AutoCAD, when you sign in, you'll probably notice on your software you can sign in at the top right hand corner of your software. When you're in AutoCAD, this enables you to actually say automatically sync the drawing every time I click save, no matter where you save your drawing to. So most people would be saving their drawings onto network drives, and for instance in a working environment, but if you take that copy, create copy every time I click save, a copied version of the drawing that you're saving at work would get synced to your 360 site. So, and if you've got the 25 gigabytes of storage, you've got bags of room to create copies of your drawings online. People do quite often ask me about that and say a bit concerned about security for the online drive and having their intellectual property online. Well, you have your emails online. I'm sure you've got quite stuff on there. So, and it does use 256-bit encryption, which is the same as the banks. So it's pretty safe online. So a very handy tool online, the 360 stuff. There's also lots of other free tools that are available through web interface. If I just minimise, see on my desktop here, I quite often use things like Force Effect. So Force Effect is another great tool that you can use in it. You can load up files that are on your drive. I'm not signed in on this one. And Force Effect enables you to do some basic analysis of 2D drawings on forces and kinetics and so on and so forth. It's quite handy. There are also lots of free Autodesk programs that also link to your drive, such as things as 123 Design, 123D Catch, and so on and so forth. So it's essentially becoming much more of a hub for your design work, saving your drawings. And I always use my 360 drive now for pretty much everything. It syncs everything and lets me use it wherever I am. So I hope that's been a bit more clear for people on what 360 is. Any more questions about it, please don't hesitate to contact us at Man and Machine. Thank you.